So you have a chapter in your recent book, The Transcendent Brain, where you speculate on the origins of spirituality, and you suggest that it's a spandrel. In other words, it's not sort of a fundamental part of evolution. It's kind of a byproduct of evolution. Can you explain this?
Well, there are many aspects of spirituality, but I think that all of them, in my view, either had direct survival benefit or are byproducts of traits that had survival benefit. One example is our feeling of connection to nature, like I had with the ospreys. And if you go back in our evolutionary history, say a couple of million years ago, we lived in caves, and the selection of a place to live was the most fundamental thing that a group of people could do. If you've chosen the right place to live, you know who your predators are, you know where to find food, you know where to find shelter. You might need to be near a lake or a river. And so there was very strong survival benefit in being tuned to nature. And so, I'm talking like 100,000 generations ago.
But being tuned to nature is one thing, and sort of trying to kind of trace these sort of these extraordinary experiences that we have that are somehow connected to evolution, to somehow our genetic makeup. How far can you go with that?
I think you go pretty far. I think that our affinity for nature is hardwired into our DNA, and that it goes back to when being attuned to nature was a strong survival benefit. I also think that our feeling connection to other people, if we go back to that same cave, when we were, some people went out to get food, other people had to stay in the cave and keep the fire going or take care of the children. And you really depended upon your community for survival. And if you got separated from the group, it was almost certain death. If you wandered out from the cave on your own. And so we really have this codependence on a community as a necessary survival trait. And there are social anthropologists who have argued that our feeling of connection to nature and our feeling of connection to other people are very closely related to each other.
And I get all of that. I guess my question is how far you can really take scientific explanations, and in this case, evolutionary explanations, for trying to explain these deep spiritual impulses. Because there is another way that you could just say they are. You can't necessarily pinpoint the cause. These things happen. But maybe that you don't go there, right?
Well, I think that Charles Darwin had a lot to say about this. And in his identification of various traits in different animals, he was able to argue pretty convincingly that those traits had survival benefit because they were identified with particular locations and environments from which the animals emerged. And modern molecular biologists who look at the DNA of humans and non-human animals, they see a continuity there. And so those kinds of arguments convince me. I think that many of the distinctive traits that we have had survival benefit.